Hey gamers, today we're going to look at the expansion to Dice Forge, Rebellion. Let's check it out. To set up the game, it's very easy. You're just going to add this box to the main box, and then of course, just like the last one, it gives you a sleeve and tells you where all the little new dice faces are. Now, you're not going to use all these for each game. There are two types of games here. The first one I have set up is the Titan, and when you're playing with the Titan, you're only going to be using these three die faces. You won't be using these two. These are for the next game. Each character is going to have their own little token player here that goes straight in the middle when we're on the Titan board here. They're also going to get this additional purple track that will be added to their thing. They're going to have an extra little square here to keep up with their purple shards. Their dice, their starting dice will be slightly different. You'll take out the red shard die and put in a purple shard die, and then you'll take out the 2 victory points that was on the other die and put in this die that basically just has suns and one, I'm just going to call these suns, but a sun and a victory point. All right, so that's the difference in the die. Now, you're also going to be using a different deck of cards here, and the game provides you this deck of cards. How you can tell these apart from the other deck they give you is you'll see things like, hey, okay, here's stuff that involves purple shards or gold, and this one has the same one too. So you can see it just by looking at that in the game, and just keeping them separate in the box as well. But anyway, as you are rolling the game, you're going to be accumulating purple shards. What are they? Well, they are miscellaneous shards. That means using them, you can have them count for fire or moon shards, which is super powerful in the game. So yay for purple shards, and there's ways to get more purple shards on your dice rolls. This one is especially mean. You would take the one of your color, place it on someone else's die. They may not reforge the die, and when they roll it, you get the reward. So a lot more cutthroat here. But anyway, every time you're rolling something, you're either gaining suns or gaining shards. You know, those are the two new things in this version here. And when you do, you either go up or down the track. Going up this track, getting the gold or the sun shards or whatever they're kind of called here, the yellow circles here. Whenever you get one of those, you can go up this track. Now, as you move up this track, you're moving in a zigzag pattern, as you see here. Zigzag pattern here, except when it gets here, it kind of goes straight through there. But when you're moving backwards, you're going to follow these blue lines here. So there's some blue lines here. So you go down this track a little bit faster than you moved up it. And here is taking you a longer time to move up because these two blues zigzag where the purple line doesn't. So going backwards, you will follow blue. Going forwards, like going out, you'll just follow the zigzag pattern as shown there. As you're moving along each side of the track, you're going to accumulate certain special abilities. For instance, the more suns you get, the better special ability you have. If you're in this section here, for every gold you roll, you get an additional gold. If you're in this section here, you get an additional gold and a victory point for every gold you roll. If you're up here, you get the same thing, and if you're up in the upper echelon, for every victory point you roll, you're also going to get an additional victory point. So that's really nice. That's really awesome to be. But what about here? Well, whenever you spin those purple shards, you're going to be moving down this track. And you will spin purple shards, my friend, to get different things, as those purple shards come in super handy here. But you also get rewards as well. If you're the first person to get, one of these cards that says go on a mission or something, or do a heroic feat, that's what it's called. The first one to do it, who's in this area, gets 3 victory points. Anybody else gets 2 every time they do a heroic feat. So you're going to get victory points here. Here, you're going to get even more. First person to do it gets 5. Everyone else, when they do a heroic feat in this section, they're going to get 3 victory points. So you can actually get a few more victory points here, which is good because at the end of the game, these are also going to count for in-game points. Any purple shards you have or you've used and you move down this track, you're going to subtract that many victory points from your score. If you're up here in the sun track, you're going to add that many victory points to your score. Now you're thinking, well, Matt, why would I ever go down the purple shards? Believe me, you will. Think about it. If I want to get this big mamma jamma here and I don't have all the shards I need, I'll use these purple shards, move down this track maybe to -7 at the end of the game. But I got a 20 victory point card, so it probably will balance out. You know, I've seen people win. They've been all the way to the other spectrum, getting to -25 points, and they still pull it off. However, I have seen people, you know, barely get any or get 1 or none, and this person came from behind because they had 20. I actually did that once. So, I mean, it's a balancing act on where you want to go and what you want to do. These are very powerful, but they're going to be minus points. These aren't as powerful, but at least you're going to get bonus victory points at the end. Now, that's the first game. The second game they give you in this expansion is called the Maze. Now, in the maze, your little starting tokens will start right here on this maze. You're going to get these maze cards that they give you, and these can be easily identifiable when you see things like the lunar emblems on some of these. The only thing different about your die here is on the new die, instead of a blue shard, you're going to replace your blue shard with this 1+ lunar emblem here. So everything else will look the same. You'll still have a fire shard here, but you're going to have, instead of a blue shard, just that lunar emblem there. And so that's what your new die will look like. And so as you roll these die, whenever you roll the lunar die, you get to move your person up this track. And as you see, there are arrows going either which way. You can take the quick path and go straight forward. You can go through here and get tons of bonuses along the way, but it's a longer path. Or you can go up here. This is a little bit longer path as well, but you get a lot of victory points. And then, of course, as you see, once someone gets here, they're just zigzagging down, around here till they get there. That's 15 points, and they get to roll their die again to take the reward. Now, there are some blank spaces on the maze. What happens is the first person to get to one of those spaces, they get to pick what that reward will be, whether it will be 4 moon shards or 4 fire shards or 10 victory points. Now, whichever one they pick, they flip it over, and then from then on out, someone's getting, instead of 4 of a kind of shard, they're getting 1 of a kind of shard. And instead of 10 victory points, they're only getting 2 victory points. And those would stay like that after the first person hit. The first person gets the big reward. Everyone else, if they made it there, would get the secondary, the much smaller reward. So that's what those 3 blank spaces on the maze mean. Now, in this game, of course, your plan is normal. You can upgrade your die to one of these, so get some more extra faces, so you can start climbing up that maze, maybe getting those bonus rewards. And there are some emblems here and on some of the cards in the deck that show this celestial die. Ooh, the celestial die. It's pre-printed on here, but they're all super powerful. Like, get 12 coins. Everyone rolls a die. You get to copy one of the die rolls. Get 5 victory points. Hey, get 3 victory points and one of these other 3. What's another one here? Oh yeah, upgrade your die +2. So for instance, you can upgrade it 2 levels up if you wanted to. And then, let's see, where's the other one? Oh yeah, this is a great one here. This one, put your die any facing and then activate it. So maybe if you had the 4 victory point one, you can put it there. Or you want to move up the track again, you can put it there. But you get to put that die face down however you want to do it. And of course I have all the weak stuff here, but if you had something powerful, you may want to put that one down, but you can put any facing down here. But that's the celestial die, and you get to roll it when you see the emblem. Sometimes you get to roll it twice. Sometimes you get to roll it once or twice there. So of course this game is just, it's not getting to the end of the maze. It's basically just you're going through the maze as you're going through the regular round of Dice Forge. And those are the 2 expansions that come in the game. Final thoughts, what do I think about the game? Well, folks, as you know, I love Dice Forge. I have been waiting for this to come out for quite some time. I have to admit though, I love it. I love it. It's a great game. There's just more dice, more actions, more things you can do in the game. I have 2 minor, and I mean minor complaints. One, you have to keep the box. If you want the whole setup, the inlays and everything. I'm sure you could combine the boxes, which I may do, and then eventually just get rid of the using the boxes set up. I may just do that just to get rid of an extra box, but I wish they would have kind of had time to fit everything in there. That's a minor complaint. The other minor complaint I have is the rule book for this is horrendous. It is horrendous. Trying to find out what cards do what. We kept flipping around because they have the cards spread out here and there, and they're in 2 different sections, and to me, there's no rhyme or reason for it. And plus, the picture of the card does not match the picture in the instructions. It's the same creature, but sometimes they're doing a different pose. Sometimes it's the same picture that you see there, but sometimes it's an alternate pose, and we were so confused. There was one, he's surrounded by lava or something. Well, in the picture, they just got rid of the background. It's just him. Well, we couldn't tell because we kept looking for lava. And yeah, I mean, yeah, laziness, I guess, in a little bit. We could have just went down one by one and saw the creature, but that made it really confusing the first couple of times to play. And actually, every time we play, we have trouble looking through the rule book. So again, minor complaint. Other than that, the game is great. Do you need it? Do you need it with Dice Forge? No, but it will switch up the game and make it different. I'll be honest, the two games they have in here, Titans and the Maze. I like the Maze better. The Maze just has way more choices, but you are getting tons of die faces. You're getting tons of gold. I mean, you get an overabundance of wealth. So maybe that's why we like it. It's a little too much. The Titans one is fine. I like it. I like the idea of someone went all the way to the 25 negative track, and we're like, ooh, but he was using his gems, you know, basically, and buying all these, going on these heroic feats and getting all these cards. He had so many bonus points, he made up for it in the end. And I told you during the review, there's a game where the only reason I won is because I was in the positive and everyone else was in the negative at the end. And I mean, I barely squeaked out a victory that time. So I do love the balance of Titans, but the Maze is a lot of fun too. So yeah, this one's a keeper. Definitely get it if you love Dice Forge. It's well worth your time. All right, gamers, that's all the time I have for now. Until next time, game on!